Welcome, Amakhosi Network. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to update you on very big news. Big, humongous, amazing. Not amazing to all of us, but big news. Biggest, big. Maart is staying. Our captain is staying. But before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe. Guys, Maart is staying. And Maart made sure we beat Sundowns so he can get his new Kaizer Chiefs contract. I wonder if we lost to Sundowns and Maart had a bad performance, if he would have actually signed for Kaizer Chiefs. I wonder. But anyway, that is just me speculating. But Maart has apparently signed an extension with Kaizer Chiefs. He will be a Kaizer Chiefs player moving ahead from next season, etc. So this is my thing. I don't see the benefit of having Maart in our. This is my opinion. Number one, I am not I'm not a football coach. I'm not an analyst. I am a random citizen of South Africa who has opinions about a team he loves. Let's start there. Before you guys come and say, what's in when people say things like that. But anyway, let's start there. Maart, for me, I don't believe should be wearing a Kaizer Chiefs shirt. And I'm basing this on the level of player he is and the level of player we need. Why am I saying that? Maart is a hard worker. All of those things, granted, I take them all. But there's midfield basics that Maart lacks: comfortability, decisiveness, and all of those things. He's just naturally a hard worker. And I always compare him to Bernard Parker when he started converting to a midfielder. That Bernard Parker had all the hard work, but his positioning was often bad and his passes were often not that great in certain situations. And then obviously Bernard Parker's scoring boots were gone. So sometimes he'd find himself in the box and start doing weird things. But other than that, Maart signed an extension. I'm happy for him and the Maart family. I've always said this and people take it the wrong way. I have nothing against the player he is. I feel he is a great South African PSL player and he ranks amongst some of the best midfielders in the PSL. The only place where I have a difference is for the team he plays for. For example, if Maart plays for Cape Town City, I think he would do amazing. If Maart played for SuperSport United, I think he would be amazing. Sikukune, Amazulu, all these teams that I've mentioned, I think he would be amazing and he would be winning many of the matches. He would be known as one of the best players in the league. He would probably even get possible call-ups from Hugo Bros just based on his attitude and his work ethic. That is the player I'm saying. But when I speak of Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, and Sundowns, there's a certain level of player that should be wearing those colors. And I don't think Maart is necessarily that player. And this is my opinion. Maart, I don't think when you put on that Kaizer Chiefs jersey, there's a certain, and you enter the midfield, the type of players that have put on that jersey, the type of players that have, let's say, that put on that jersey and were winners in the past, you had to have a certain special quality about you. Hard work was always, in the players of Chiefs in the past, hard work was always granted. Like, we've always had hard workers in the team. But even our hard workers, they had different elements to their games that made them like better than everyone in the league. For example, Katsande, he was a hard worker, but he was also known as one of the best destroyers in the league. Maart is a hard worker, but you can't say he's like the best at something in the league. You can just say he's a hard worker. So yeah, but anyway, I don't want to be negative. Well done to Maart. And a part of me is wishing that, because there's a few players that Chiefs have re-signed, and a part of me is wishing Chiefs re-sign them not for the ideas we have. For example, we re-signed Castillo, we re-signed Maart, we re-signed Frosler. I am hoping that these guys we re-signed to possibly actually sell, because we don't want to lose out on them for free, which is that's good business sense if you're actually able to sell them. Even if you can get, even if Kukune can come to Chiefs and buy Maart for 5 million, it is better than nothing. So that's what I think about the Maart extension. The next interesting one is Yaya Sitole. The Yaya Sitole, even Faisal Solum. Faisal Solum apparently his people have, let's say, they've been chatting to Kaizer Chiefs. Well, this is what reports are saying. They've been chatting to Kaizer Chiefs and they are happy with whatever Chiefs is offering, right? The only issue now is Kaizer Chiefs having a discussion around his fee with Azam, the club he plays for. So it's even beneficial to us that we now going to be playing CAF Confederation, because Faisal Solum is a player who would only be attracted, I believe, he's so good that he can only really be attractive to continental football. So that's what I think there. But then on the other hand, so we're hoping that one goes positive. There's also the left back from Simba, the captain. Is it Hussein? Him also as well. His team was trying to get him to sign an extension, and he said no. And the people are speculating that he doesn't want to sign an extension with Simba because he's already negotiated with South Africa. And then the final one, which I started in the beginning, is Yaya Sitole. Yaya Sitole apparently is going to be in South Africa either this week or next week. And when he's here in South Africa, his people will be chatting to teams that want to get his services. Some people are saying Sundowns may be in that, but I don't see what Sundowns would benefit from Yaya. He doesn't really play their game. The Yaya one I'm going to get to now. I'll tell you why I would rather have him, but at the same time, if we don't get him, it won't hurt me personally, or I won't feel bad about it. So Yaya's going to be in South Africa and he's going to be negotiating with the South African team because it is said that he wants to come back home. But will it hurt? What do I think of Yaya Sitole? I think Yaya Sitole is a good player. I think his career would have been better in Europe. The only problem is the countries he chose to play for in Europe don't match his style. So, for example, if he went to play in France, maybe second division, and then got his just performed there, or went to Belgium, I think those two countries would have been better off for him because he plays a very Yaya Toure style. And when you're in Portugal, countries like Portugal, the Yaya Toure style isn't necessarily the style that flourishes. And this is my opinion. From what I've seen, they prefer more fluid midfielders more than hard midfielders, and their more tougher midfielders are very good technically. They're not just all about muscle and stuff like that. And even if the player is about muscle, there is like a technical ability that he has that they can use. So the reason why I'm saying I think he would have done well, because he plays almost like a style that suits, that's like about Thomas Partey and stuff. Like he's a destroyer, but that can also give you a good solid through pass that can make you play and stuff like that. But the problem with Yaya is that he plays an erratic football, and in Portugal, the game in Portugal is more neat. I don't know how else to put it, but the football Portuguese players play, because of their size and stuff, is more pocket play. And that's why I'm saying in South Africa, we also have a similar type of structure in terms of our players. The players who thrive in South Africa are often players who are more tidy, more neat. That's why you see people like that boy who Munetsi, who played for Pirates. In South Africa, we couldn't really see his talents, but the guy went to France, he flourished, and then now he's playing in England because of his style of play. His style of play did not suit South Africa, but it definitely suited France and now England. And I think Yaya has the same qualities and structures as Munetsi. But now in South Africa, what he's going to find is a similar problem in that South African players are so we're not strong players. We're not strong players. We're nifty players. We're quick players. And a lot of the times when you get a bullish player in the league, that player almost loses the thing that makes him good because the players around him are so weak that he is always fouling, is always getting red cards, is always, so he can't get what he wants out of his game. And then players from other teams start to target him because they know they can get fouls from him because he's a bit more on the tough side. So, and he's a bit erratic. When I say a bit erratic, I'm like, because he's so big and like tall, when he plays around quick players, sometimes his first touch is not the best. And then to recover, it's like it looks a bit difficult, and then the nippy players get to him and he is always like sometimes late in those challenges. And I'm saying those are the difficulties you'll find with Yaya Sithole. But is he an upgrade to the midfielders we have right now in Kaizer Chiefs? Definitely. And I'm sure that's all Kaizer Chiefs players care about, but that's what I'm just saying. I'm just saying he's good in that aspect, but if you don't get him and you have Fitoto, you have Thabo Cele, these are more player profiles that will actually excel in South Africa. I'm not saying Yaya won't excel. It's just that you have to polish up his game a bit more because of how he will be treated by refereeing other teams. He has to kind of dial down his strength while also using it to his advantage. And having Yaya is actually good for you if you go and play continental football, which is the aspect which you should have him for. Because when you're going into Africa, as you can see, players like Mahalwa and stuff, those tough players, they're the ones who come out front because Africa is filled with just tough players. So in that sense, if you're aiming for continental football, confederation football, then Yaya is a good pickup. But yeah, those are the players I've seen and heard about. You guys tell me what you think. All I'm saying is, guys, it's nice. It's all nice and great that we talk about these guys, but Chiefs, sign the players. Sign the players.